Alright, what's going on YouTube? We are doing level 16 Lightseeker camp on veteran mode. We have our level 10 hero, everything maxed out. And for the towers, we have the Master Architects, special training if you need that, ultimate power, Pit Lord, Fear of the Dams, and Tornado of Souls, everything maxed out on our Soul Impact tree. Let's go ahead and hop into it. I am Gerald Lightseeker, a one-man army. But my men can deal with you one-handed. Very good. So for this level, it may seem very big and intimidating. I just went ahead and did a very simple setup. Getting a maxed out archer tower right at the bottom where the enemies will first come. And then we put a mausoleum tower, and we also put, I believe I did an Inferno Mage as well. So level 2 mausoleum at the bottom. And I kind of wondered like what I'm supposed to be doing, because I'm like, well, I don't want to put all my money on one side, but I put a Mage Tower, Inferno Mage Tower on the at the bottom just to help deal with some of these enemies. And I do upgrade it to level 2. And we call the wave in. I go to level 3, I believe, as well. I'm just kind of debating because I'm like, well, I want to kill the enemies, but yeah, we go level 3. So level 3 Inferno, level 2 Mausoleum, level 4 Archer Tower, all at the bottom. And just kind of have your hero stand here. I didn't put anything in the barracks yet because I didn't know how much I would need. And yep, just pretty slow. It's honestly, there's a lot going on, but this level starts very slowly with just a bunch of recruits. And thankfully with a level 4 Arch Tower, we make very short work of these guys. But you will be introduced with lots of fun enemies, and I like the way they did this level. They introduced some very interesting mechanics with the horses, and a very cool level in my opinion. So we're preparing for the next wave. We can see stuff is going to be coming from the top now. So I went ahead and plopped down a Archer Tower. We did unlock Ogre Shamans from the previous level, but I don't think they're that useful here. I just went ahead and went with the Archer Towers, my typical Mausoleum, Inferno Mage, Archer Tower combo. And notice at the very top, at the ends, we see this little caravan. And those are mercenaries that you can hire. So they're basically like reinforcements that you can purchase when your ability is not up. So they will come in clutch later in this level. So just be aware that's always an option if you need like an emergency reinforcement just to get a little bit of extra stalling in. And Inferno Tower here at this little roundabout. Have a nice little cluster of Archer and Inferno. I drop a Soul Impact just to deal a little bit of extra damage and call the wave in early, knowing I would get most of it reset. And you can see already level 3 Archer Tower there. There's a lot of little squishy stuff, so I just really played this level by ear. And I'm like, well, what do I need at this time? And I figured that I was going to need a lot of DPS early on. And I'm waiting for something to die here so I can upgrade the Mage Tower. There we go. Putting your points into the reinforcements is very, very helpful. And I kind of don't really value the hero tree all that much, mostly because I think my hero, he does end up dying quite a bit, but I feel like having the tower tree and the reinforcement tree is just so much more effective. And we're going to call the wave in really early to get the resets and also the money. This artillery tower in the center is going to be very important because things later will start to clump up in this area. I went ahead and put, well, the artillery tower mostly took care of him, but I dropped a Soul Impact at the bottom to deal with some of these elves. And this is where our main barracks is going to be at the top, just the harassers. And unfortunately, that mausoleum at the bottom, it covers both lanes, the bottom and the center, and it takes care of any stragglers that might slip past. So as long as you have this defense set up in a way where you can kind of cover all your lanes, you don't really have to worry about little guys getting past the initial kind of front choke point, because they'll usually be picked off by the towers in the back. Now we get introduced to the Paladin, and this is basically just a heavy armored guy. There's actually an even heavier armored guy we'll see in a minute, but these things, they can do area attacks, and they have a lot of armor. That's pretty much all you need to know. So this is where you'll definitely need your mages. A lot of times when there's lots of little stuff, it's better to just kill off little stuff with your soul impacts and whatnot, just to make sure that way your towers can focus on the heavy stuff. It's not usually worth using your soul impact on the heavy guys unless they're all clumped up. Much better to just clear off all the little stuff, and then your towers can focus on the heavy armored guys. Now you can see bottom, I already put a maxed out Inferno tower. That's going to help us a lot with most of the armor that's coming in. And things do clump up here, so I drop a soul impact on these recruits and get a decent reset. Could have been a little bit better if I had waited maybe a second longer. And yeah, at the top, we're going to go ahead and put another point into the Inferno Mage. We should have our level 3 Inferno Mage at top and a level 4 at the bottom. I put another point into the artillery as well because it's going to cover both sides, so it's very useful to have. I'm just trying to rotate my hero to be useful in some way. Fortunately, the mausoleum in the back is picking off a lot of the stragglers. I just try to keep in mind on what's going on. I wait a little bit to call on the wave here. This level 7 wave. I want to kill off most of this stuff first. This Paladin is starting to slip past. We have to drop a quick reinforcement and micro our hero a little bit. And I do end up dropping a soul impact, and a very clutch reinforcements come in right at the very end. You can see that little knight guy, or little, I guess we call him like a recruit. Almost slips by. Fortunately, I have my hero. The shield bearers are the heavy armored guys, usually like the super heavy armor. Unfortunately, they're very slow. So just basically treat them like any other guy. Just you want to try to clear off the little stuff and then let the mage towers chip them down. And you can see this is our main choke point in the center, so we're putting a very needed mausoleum tower to help deal magic damage here. And otherwise my hero's just gonna kind of stand here and just try to be a tank. Notice how I'm just like moving him down here to deal with the small stuff. I'm letting the mage tower deal with this heavy armored guy. Between the harassers and the mage tower should die very quickly. You can see I'm not even bothering to drop a reinforcement on him because I know that the mausoleum will finish him off. So that is another little tip with this game, is if you want to, if you play this game enough, you'll start to get an idea of how strong your towers are and what it takes to kill off an enemy. If you know an enemy is going to die to towers, then don't waste putting a reinforcement on top of them when they would be better served, stopping other enemies. So maxed out Archer Tower on top now, and our hero should be rotating up. I think I just forgot he was there for a second. But we have a level 3 artillery and a level 3 mausoleum as well in the center here. Now the bottom is mostly taking care of itself. Fortunately with the archers, they do chip these eagles very quickly. And we called in the wave very early to get the resets. Notice at the very top left, I went ahead and put a mausoleum tower. That's going to be helpful against some of these paladins. At the bottom, we get the pajama guys. They're just They're very resistant to the mages, so I put some reinforcements on top of them to stall them a bit. And here we get the Cavaliers. Basically, if the Paladins are able to make their way into that stable, they become Cavaliers, and they get a charge attack, which is very annoying. As these Harassers die, you're going to want to upgrade them. I wait a little bit too long, I think, but either upgrade the Harassers or put more points into your Mausoleum. And I think at the bottom I wait, and I tried to decide whether I need to use a hero power. And at this point, because there's 3 different waves, it really does force you to spread your resources out and try to keep track of what's going on. It can be a bit chaotic sometimes when there's a lot of different enemies and a lot of different waves to clear. Now we have at the top, towards the back, we have another upgraded Mausoleum. That's going to be very important to help deal with some of these Paladins. And in the center, we upgraded my favorite tower, which is the fully upgraded artillery. And I decided to have some fun with this artillery tower. I just put a lot of upgrades into it just because I enjoy it that much. It does become very useful later on, so I figured I would just throw a bunch of upgrades into it. Maybe not the most efficient, but it did work. It did work out, and it was a lot of fun. So sometimes if you have your favorite tower and it's fun to experiment around with it, you'll see I put a bunch of points into the mines and then also into the engine parts to help basically just deal like mass explosions, which will be very entertaining here at the end. But level 10, or wave 10, going into wave 11, should look something like this. We also have these musketeer guys, and now these guys are annoying because they kill off your hero and your reinforcements. So basically, they're kind of like the previous levels where you see those anti-infantry guys, anti-reinforcement guys. I would recommend just plopping your reinforcements right on top of them, if you can. They're not too threatening. I mean, they're fairly squishy, but because they can kill off your hero and your reinforcements very quickly, like that, I just died. My hero just died. You have to be careful, but if you kind of like, if you just let them run the gauntlet, they pretty much just die by themselves. The only problem is if they can clump up, they can kill off your harassers and things, and they can let other enemies slip by. And you can see the very top I fully upgraded the Mausoleum just to help chip up some of these heavy armor guys. The bottom, the Mausoleum is doing a good job of finishing off anything that tries to slip by. At this point, it's like from wave 12 onwards, we're going to see the Golem, the heavily armored Golem guys. So you should have your Inferno Mages. You can see we have 2 of them. They should be upgraded fully at this point. It's going to be very important to kind of choke everything at the center area here. And without the Inferno Mages and Mausoleums, you're going to have a really tough time against these guys. You can also see the sheep that I just got, or my guy got turned into. If you don't have anything at the end to help clear off that stuff, it could be a big problem too. So. And you can see I have a lot of money, so I just started putting it into the mines. My hero is standing at the bottom. The wolves, the doggies, unfortunately just get picked off by the Mausoleum. I'm calling in the wave fairly early. I'm not too worried about the Golem yet because, like I said, as long as you have the Mage Towers upgraded, they should die. I'm just kind of pay attention to the health of your hero. If you look at the little icon, if he's low, move him back. One thing I probably would have done in retrospect is upgrade the Mausoleum at the center. I probably would have put out maybe some possessions would have been very useful here. I've also been putting some points into the archer towers. If you upgrade their corrupting arrows, it's generally good against almost everything here. So some points into teleportation to help deal with the heavily armored guys. If I can teleport them backwards, I'll get a little bit of extra stalling. I was a little bit concerned about these musketeers getting into my backline, so I'm plopping my reinforcements on top of them. Here's where things get a bit chaotic. I buy some gargoyles to help stall out a little bit, and there's just lots of stuff going on. My hero is at the bottom, just kind of stalling things out. I was worried about the harassers getting by. I upgrade them very quickly at the top to help stall the paladins, and you can see I'm dropping a soul impact at the bottom, at the center, just to help finish out those paladins. I also hired some mercenaries to deal with the heavy armored guys. And just really doing everything I can to try to stall these guys out. I do end up buying some more reinforcements to help to kill off this paladin who almost makes it past. It gets a bit, from wave 14, 15, it gets a bit chaotic. I think I used my soul impact incorrectly. Just like I was trying to call my hero up and actually use my soul impact, so that was on cooldown, and then there was a lot of stuff going on, but follow the setup, you should be fine. The caravan gives you a fair amount of flexibility in terms of how you want to use your hero ability, so even if you mess up a little bit, you should be okay. Notice I don't have any barracks at the bottom. For the most part, if you just plop your reinforcements are enough with the mage towers to finish off most of the stuff. Just keep an eye on it. You can see I'm putting down my hero power at the bottom. That's was my main concern, was these mage towers or mage guys slipping past. And the center area is just a slaughter fest. We have a ton of money now, so don't be greedy, don't be stingy. Definitely use your higher gargoyles like you see I'm doing, and upgrade where you think it will be useful. There's a lot of flexibility because you'll have a lot of towers to choose from, but just try to find areas where it's going to be, try to get the most use out of them. And with that bottom mage guy dying, this will be the final fight here. We get a nice little animation. Fine, I'll do it myself. So we have Arnold Schwarzenegger here. Walks down, gets dressed for battle. Honestly, he looks pretty mean. He looks pretty cool looking. But unfortunately for this poor guy, he's not going to get too far. Does his little dance moves, and he's about to take a ton of damage. Look at the corrupting arrows. And I just dropped everything on top of this guy. I hire some gargoyles at the top there just to stall at the paladins because I want my towers to focus almost exclusively on the main boss guy. And you can see he's just getting hammered. He did kill my hero, but between the harassers and this fully upgraded, or almost fully upgraded, the artillery tower, he's just getting absolutely destroyed. He will try to heal himself a little bit, but you can see I'm just throwing everything I have at this guy. I know that my towers are strong enough to take care of the rest of the stuff. He'll do this little pose where he heals himself, but you can see he's busy killing the harassers, and the corrupting arrows and the artillery are just doing so much damage, along with the mausoleum. So a very easy fight there. I even hire some extra reinforcements for the caravan just to do a little bit of extra damage. I think it's just funny to watch this guy getting pummeled. And there you go, pretty clean. Well, I want to live forever. Could I keep my honor? Maybe. Alright, and there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you guys found it helpful. I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.